Imagine waking up to a silent village scorched by flames, to children boarded onto motorcycles in broad daylight, to a government pleading with the world while the victims plead for home. This is Nigeria today. In this episode of True Justice, we journey through three of the most harrowing crises tearing through Nigeria: terrorism, allegations of genocide in the Middle Belt, and the mass kidnapping epidemic. We'll probe the facts, the forces, and the failures, and leave you with the big question: can Nigeria escape this spiral before the next? Nigeria's longest war is still raging. ISIS West Africa, ISW West Africa, the regional arm of the global ISIS network, continues to wreak havoc. According to the U.S. National Counterterrorism Center, ISWWA operates primarily in northeastern Nigeria, controlling swathes of territory and using ambushes, roadside bombs, and kidnappings. But the story doesn't stop in the northeast. Consider this. On July 1, 2025, militants believed to belong to the group Lakurwa stormed a village in Sokoto State, killing 15 to 17 villagers as they prepared for afternoon prayers. In the northwest and north-central zones, kidnapping and terror raids are rising, villages burned, entire households lost. Yet, the government often frames these groups as bandits or herders gone violent, a classification that critics say obscures the links to ideological extremist networks. Each region presents unique dynamics: Boko Haram, ISWWA in the northeast, bandits and herder-farmer conflict in the central belt, jihadist spillover, and local militia in the northwest. Yet the underlying theme remains the same: territorial control, impunity, and an overwhelmed state. Listen to this. Amnesty International reported that in the Guma area of Benue State alone, at least 100 people were killed in a single attack when gunmen locked villagers in and burned homes to the ground. One local leader described the tactic: "We walked into our homes. The next moment we heard fire and screaming." Meanwhile, dialogue from above signals a diplomatic strain. U.S. Senator Ted Cruz has called the Benue violence a full-scale genocidal invasion, while Nigerian officials reject the term genocide and say the violence is misrepresented. So what's really going on here? We'll unpack that next. Genocide allegations and the Middle Belt crisis. This section plunges into the heart of the Middle Belt, where allegations of genocide, religious targeting, and ethnic cleansing swirl amid land disputes, climate pressure, and years of neglect. What are the claims? Ted Cruz tweeted that 50,000 Christians have been killed in Nigeria since 2009, 18,000 churches destroyed. Some local Tiv and other communities in Benue and Plateau states say they're facing a calculated, well-planned, full-scale genocidal invasion and land-grabbing campaign by herder terrorists. Amnesty International documented attacks in which villages were burned, bodies found charred, homes destroyed, and thousands displaced. What does the government say? The government argues that while the violence is severe, it is not a systematic attack on a religious group. They say the conflict is driven by ethnicity, resource competition, and criminality more than faith. A spokesperson stated, "Portraying Nigeria's security challenges as a targeted campaign against a single religious group is a gross misrepresentation of reality. The reality on the ground. In communities like Akpanta, Apa LGA of Benue State, attackers razed homes and churches, displaced entire populations. Victims often report no security response, no prosecutions, and deepening trauma." This brings us to a haunting question. If even the government says it's not genocide, yet victims feel as if they are being exterminated, where does truth lie? Is the world witnessing an ethnic religious cleansing? Or is this a tragic convergence of criminality, resource war, and weakened governance? Stay tuned. We move next to the kidnapping war. What happens next? Will the farmers versus herders conflict be upgraded to full-blown war zone status if left unchecked? Could Nigeria's CPC, country of particular concern, status by the U.S. over religious freedom violations and threats of military action, tip the balance? And most importantly, can Nigeria turn the tide before the next mass abduction, massacre, or terrorist strike becomes the global headline? Thank you for watching this edition of True Justice. If you found this video illuminating, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more deep dives into stories that matter. Share your thoughts below. Which region of Nigeria worries you the most? What solution do you believe will be effective? Until next time, stay informed, stay aware, and remember, justice begins when we ask the hard questions.